Today we're going to make a special video talking about the lifetime warranty offered on Koni's shocks. With my uncle John Henderson. And so John, how many years have we been dealing with Koni now?
Getting close to 30 years, I believe.
Okay.
Long time.
Yeah, so not quite as long as you've been working here, but it's your whole
Order and they actually started in the 1800s with
carry like saddles or something like that. Yeah.
so
Yeah, they've been making shocks since probably close to 100 years. I mean, this came up because we've seen, there are other manufacturers in the game of motorhome shocks, and I'm sure some good companies out there, but we've seen some commentary that, Koni's lifetime warranty, which they offer for motorhome shocks, maybe isn't as good as it's cracked up to be. Maybe their own 1-year warranty is actually better in some ways. So what would you say to that?
Well, Koni's always been really good to deal with. If there is a problem with the shock, they've always taken care of it. We kind of go the extra mile for the customer. We will send a shipping tag to return the shock and send the new one out. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can bring your old shock to us. We will exchange it. The other option is to purchase a shock, and then once we get it back, we credit you back. But lifetime warranty to the original purchaser. Anything leakage or any problems with the shock, they'll stand behind it. So
yeah,
we do have to send the shocks back to Koni for inspection, but in all the years we've been dealing with them, I don't think they've ever denied a claim other than maybe we had a misapplication or incorrect ride height on air suspension, something like that. So
yeah, if the shock is pulled apart, for instance, then we're probably going to be asking some questions. Was the ride height set properly on this thing? Was it the correct application of the shock?
Exactly. That's understandable. Yeah, because you could put another shock on there that may do this happen again.
If I'm a customer, let's say I purchased Koni's from Supersteer 5 years ago, and now one of them is leaking. What should I do?
So once you contact us, we'll look you up in our system. It's always a good idea to hang on to your receipt, but we'll have you in our system. So we can find the part number, the date it was purchased. So at that point, you'd want to make the decision whether you want to purchase another shock. We'd send you a return tag for the old one. Once we get it back, we credit you back, and then we'll send it on to Koni. And the other option would be to send us your old shock. You want to contact us ahead of time so we know, and we can create what we call an RGA number, return good authorization number. And we try to make it, as pain-free as possible. So
right. Yeah, so either way, really, before they order a shock or ship us the old one or do anything, call us first.
Right.
Let us know what's going on. We may want to see a picture of it, because a little bit of seepage is okay versus like a steady leak. Or
sometimes, when they're assembled, that's a good point. You'll see just a little bit of oil a lot of times from assembly, and that's normal. And as far as to the picture, we may ask for that just to make sure the ride height looks, close. We might ask for a measurement of the shock or something if there's any questions about that. So sometimes the wrong shock, with RBs, there's a lot of options. You can have one chassis that may have 2 or 3 different suspension types used under that, particular chassis. So
sure,
it can happen where you get a wrong application.
Okay. Now, what about my shock's not leaking, but now my coach is just starting to feel a little more bouncy compared to how it used to be? What should I do?
Yeah, so in that case, what you'd have to do is probably pull one end of the shock loose and get a feel for it. Koni's generally are pretty strong when you go to extend them, and compressing, they're not as strong. So sometimes, if you're used to a gas shock, that's another hand we should talk about too, is a lot of people are used to gas shocks where that shock wants to come apart on its own, extend on its own. A Koni hydraulic shock's not going to do that. It's not going to want to come apart like a gas shock does.
Right. Yep. We've done other videos talking about the difference between a twin tube, non-pressurized shock like a Koni versus a monotube Bilstein, where it's got that nitrogen charge that naturally wants to make it extend. Konis don't do that when they're brand new, and that's just not the way they're designed. They don't. Yeah.
We also want to make sure the shock gets put on right side up too. We see how sometimes Koni, some of their applications, they use an exposed shaft on the shock. That's going to go up, and the writing on the shock should be right side up when you're looking at it as well.
Yep. We've just done another video also showing the difference. When you install them upside down, they don't work as good, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes, for example, Ford F-53, the front rear shocks look very similar. You can bolt them in place, but they're different lengths. So you want to make sure that you're getting the correct part number front and rear, even though they may look the same, they're different.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point just in general. If you're experiencing issues with your shocks, we'll probably ask some questions just to rule out some of those things. Like we want to make sure that they're installed properly, the right shock in the right location. And that's not because we don't believe you. It's just because we've got a lot of experience with these shocks, and generally they work quite well. So we want to rule those things out first.
We may ask for, in some applications, to get a ride height measurement. The weight on the coach at normal ride height from bulb center to bulb center if it's a Hilux style shock. Sure.
This last thing I'll mention is if you've got like the older style Koni manual adjust shocks, keep in mind too that if you want more control, then they can be adjusted firmer too, depending on where they're set. So
That's true. If it's a manual shock, generally new, they're going to be set at the minimum setting. And so if you do want more rebound control, you can adjust them. Some of these coaches, like country coaches, for example, they came factory with Koni shocks, and a lot of times they've been put on at the minimum setting. The shocks feel weak. You don't always have to purchase a new shock. You can adjust it up a little tighter if you give you more control. So
sure, yep. Now that brings up a good point too. The factory installed Koni shocks, that is different in terms of warranty coverage, right?
right, good point. Yeah, that's so if your coach came with, say, a Bilstein or a Koni, the factory warranty applies to that shock. It's usually a 3-year, 36,000 mile. So the lifetime warranty applies to a shock that was purchased at aftermarket. Right. There's not always a difference in the shock. It's just comes down to when the chassis builder purchased those shocks. A lot of times they paid a lesser price, so they didn't get the lifetime warranty out of them. So
Right.
a lot of times it is the same shock. It's just that difference in warranty.
Sure. Okay. Great. Well, thanks, John, for all the input. We're hoping that this answers some of your questions out there. And just to reiterate, we're really happy working with Koni. They really stand behind their products. So they've been a great partner over the years and really looking forward to continuing to work with them. So definitely encourage you guys to like and subscribe to stay in the loop on content like this. And until next time, I want to wish you safer and happier driving. Thank you.